Hello and welcome to MMO Gaming, where the Pokemon TCG, One Piece card game and Disney Lorcana come to life. If you want to level up your game, stay tuned and let's switch right into the video. Hello and welcome to another commentary gameplay video on my channel. Today we are watching round number 2 of the Disney Lorcana North American Championship that happened the last weekend. And yeah, I would say let's jump right into the second round here. We are off here, so we have Jonathan Martinez here on the left up against David Nunes on the right. So it looks like David is playing a Steel Amethyst variant. So he's inking a Strength Raging Fire, plays on Diablo. And Jonathan looks like he's playing some sort of Sapphire deck, inks a Tipo, just passing it back. David on the other side inks another Strength. Quest with Diablo, plays on Mr. Smee, advancing to 1 lower. And it looks like, yeah, Jonathan is playing a Ruby Sapphire deck, inks a Sail the Asteroid Sea, plays down Tipo, and is then inking another card which we couldn't quite see there, right? So I'm hoping the people or the players are getting notified a little bit to yeah, maybe play a little bit more stream comfortable. But back to David there. So it looks like he is inking maybe a Genvox follower. No, he's inking the Merlin Goat there. Plays a Friends from the other side, drawing himself a Elsa and Mr. Smee. Then yeah, questing with Diablo Mr. Smee. So going to 4 lower here in the first game of the second round of the Disney Lorcana North American Championship. So Jonathan is inking a Sail the Asteroid Sea, plays down the How Far I Go, and is then taking down Diablo with the Tipo there. So already going up to 5 ink there. And back to David. Inks the Elsa, plays down the Merlin, Rabbit to draw another card, and is then questing with the Mr. Smee. So going all the way up to 6 lower already. And now back to Jonathan here on the other side. So I think, yeah, the more ink Jonathan can acquire, the more removal he has available, right? So now he's inking down a Maui, plays down the Madame Medusa to banish the Merlin Rabbit, and then the Tipo is doing his last job there, taking down the Mr. Smee. So I think Tipo did a great job, right? He was inking another card, accelerating your ink count, yeah. Then he took down the Diablo and also Mr. Smee. So I think it was a, yeah, good job here for Tipo, right? So now I think David's turn, right? I think we just saw some refreshment drink pause there for Jonathan. So and now back to David. He's inking a Merlin Crab, plays down the Merlin Goat, advancing to 7 lower, passing it back to Jonathan after playing down another Genvox follower there. And now back to Jonathan. So here he found his first Popsicle, plays it down to draw another card. So he has the Half Shark Maui available to him. He's inking the Shield of Virgin here and then plays down the Half Shark Maui. So this is a new legendary card from Asteroid Sea, right? Has the 7/5 stat line, has the evasive treat as well, and has the effect whenever this character challenges another character, you may return an action card from a discard through your hand. Whenever you play an action, you gain 1 lower. So David is playing down the big Tinkerbell from set 1 here, putting 1 damage on all the opposing characters. And also when this character is banishing another character in a challenge, you may deal 2 damage to chosen opposing character. So now's the question, Jonathan has to be aware if he wants to quest or not. But he's just playing down another Maui Half Shark here. Wow, so he is really going wide with them. He's not exerting any other characters here, just passing it back to David here. Now we are in a kind of stalemate situation. Who is building the bigger board, right? And also interesting fact to note, right? These abilities, they also stack on each other. So this means when Jonathan is now playing a action card, he will gain 2 lower instantly. And David is then playing down another Mr. Smee and using a Strength Raging Fire and putting 4 damage here onto the Maui that already had 1 damage on him, right? Taking this off the board. And now we see pass back to Jonathan here. So he has a lot of options there, right? He has a big Sisu in hand. He also found a Hiram Flavor Sham, but he is deciding to play this down, banishing the Popsicle to draw 2 more, finding himself another Popsicle, plays it down to draw another card. So now a lot of card draw available for Jonathan. Plays the Vitalisphere here and is then questing with the Maui here, gaining the first lower of the game for him. And then we see the pass back to David here on the other side. So it looks like he is questing with the Genbox follower, drawing himself another card by banishing it, right? So let's see what he is doing here. Okay, it looks like he's inking a library, then plays down the Elsa, is then playing the crab to buff the Elsa. Wow, this was a really great turn here for him. This was a little bit fast here, but he played the Elsa, he exerted the Flavor Sham, played the crab down to buff the Elsa, taking down the Elsa, like the Elsa is taking down the Half Shark Maui, and the Tinkerbell together with the Merlin Goat, taking down the Flavor Sham, and also putting 2 damage there onto the Mother Medusa. And Jonathan is responding with a big Be Prepared here. And back to David, which is playing down a Merlin Rabbit, plays down Diablo and a Genbox follower here. So going really big after this Be Prepared. And there we see a big Sisu clearing off again David's side of things here. So now back to David here. He is playing down the Genie, drawing himself another card. And is then playing down a Merlin Goat, going up to 12 lore here. And now back to Jonathan, which starts off with a Flavor Sham here, drawing him 2 more cards. He's then using the Ice Block onto the Genie to play down the little Sisu to banish it, right? Reducing the strength by 1. Sisu is then able to KO a character with a strength of 1 or less. Is then playing down, or questing rather, right, with the Sisu there, going up to 5 lore. So David on the other side is then taking out the big Sisu with his Merlin Goat. Also gaining 1 lore of the banish there by the Merlin Goat. Is playing down a Magic Broom here. Also plays down a 1-cost Diablo here. And I think I see a Tinkerbell there. And he also plays it down, right? So no cards in hand here for David. And we are starting off with the Ice Block here. Probably onto the, I think it doesn't matter, Tinkerbell I would imagine. Or maybe the Magic Broom. Is then using the Flavor Sham to draw 2 more cards. He's playing down a Half Shark Maui there and then plays a Brawl onto the Tinkerbell. Gaining 1 lore because of the Half Shark Maui there, right? And I think he's also questing with the Sisu there. So he should be at 8 lore total if I'm not mistaken. He quested with the Flavor Sham, he quested with the Sisu and also played the Brawl while there was the Half Shark Maui in play. So it should result in 3 lore gained here for Jonathan. Yeah. So here we see the quest with the Magic Broom for David. He's playing down the bell to banish the Magic Broom to draw another card. And he's trying to do all he can to get back into this game. And doesn't look good for him, right? So back to Jonathan. I think he's definitely on the driver's seat here. He found all his popsicle he wants, plays them down, drawing cards, exerting the Flavor Sham, gaining 1 lore, also drawing 2 more cards. I think the lore score at the bottom of the screen is not updated frequently. I think that will be updated all ways at the end of the turn. So now we see a big Maleficent Dragon here hitting the field and is then banishing the bell. And then we see also a Maui singing a Pirate's Life there, gaining him a bunch of lore. And back to David, which starts off with 2 Genies there, inks another Merlin Crab, passing it back to Jonathan. And I think it doesn't look too good, right? There's at least 5 lore on the board for Jonathan. So if he's able to find 2 more action cards, that will result in the remaining 2 lores found of the Half Shark Maui. So there we see a Vision of the Future. So 1 action card found there, and I think he found another one, right? So he will just play it down again, getting him another lore, and then he's just questing with Sisu, Maui, and also Maleficent Dragon, and that's it, right? Players are packing it up. So Jonathan won the first round here, or the first game of this second round. And I would say let's jump right into the second game of this second round. Okay, so here we are back into the second game of the second round. Looks like Jonathan is going first here. Inks a Tipo, plays down the Popsicle. And David on the other side is inking a Bell and plays down the 1-cost Diablo there. So now back to Jonathan, which is inking another Tipo, plays down the Sail the SRC to draw himself another card. And now he's able to ink another card, which is another Tipo, and then plays down another Popsicle. So this game, he doesn't want Tipo to do anything at all, right? He just wants that Tipo resting himself into the Inkwell, taking some break from this first game. back to David. He played down Johnnybook's follower, quested with the Diablo there, and that's it. And now we see a Maleficent Dragon here, hitting the Inkwell, plays down the Grammatala to finding himself some more options. And also back to David. So here we see the Tinkerbell getting inked. He's then playing the Benja to banish a Popsicle, then questing with the Diablo. So David already up to lore in this game here. And back to Jonathan. But I would say, I think Jonathan has a really good start here, right? He found multiple Popsicle. He also found some ramp options. And here we see the Ice Block, reducing the Benja's strength to 1. And then playing the Little Siso to banish also the Benja. And then Grammatala is taking out the Diablo here. Drawing David another card. And now he is inking a Tinkerbell. Plays down the Genie here. And passing it back to Jonathan. Which is now starting with the MacDuck Manor here into the Inkwell, plays down a big Half Shark Maui, and then the Grammatala together with the Sisu are singing the Pirate's Life, changing the complete lore board here, right? Reducing David lore score to 0 and Jonathan lore board to 3, right? So just changed the all lore gained there by David. And now David is also, in a tough situation. Do you want to quest with the Genie? Probably not, right? Because then the Maui could just clear it off and bring back the Pirate's Life. So I think there would be no advantage gained when you quest with the Genie there. And here we see the big Tamatoa hitting the Inkwell for Jonathan, advancing his ink to 7. And then just a pass back, so kind of situation we saw in first game, right? Like a little stalemate here where both players are, just don't want to exert their characters here. So David is now putting the library into play. He's then putting the Johnnybook's follower into the library, questing with the Johnnybook's follower, gaining 1 lore, also banishing it to then draw 2 cards, right? First card drawn of the Johnnybook's follower effect and another one of the library effect. And now we see the Magic Broom also going into the library, exerting to quest. And then he is also playing a Diablo to banish the Magic Broom to draw 2 additional cards here of the help with the library. And now we see a big, and then along came Zeus here to clear off the Maui. And I think then we saw also the Genie taking down the Siso here from Jonathan's side. And now we see a Tipo being inked, played on Tamatoa on Jonathan's side to bring back a Popsicle. And I think this card should be in his hand, right? Yeah. And now is the question, do you clear the Merlin Goat here with the Grammatala? Yeah, that's what we see here. I think it doesn't matter if you use the Ice Block there or not. Grammatala won't survive even a Ice Blocked Merlin Goat. And now back to David, which will gain 1 lore of the library. Passive effect there. And now, what is David doing? So we know Jonathan has a Popsicle in his hand. And also this Tamatoa is a big body, hard body to remove, right? So we see a Elsa hitting the Inkwell, is then questing with the Genie and also the Diablo there. And then we see another Merlin Goat here being played. And also I think Mr. Smee. And for 1 he puts the Genie into the library and passing it back to Jonathan there. So I think David was able to gain a lot of lore in the last turns. So he's starting off with a Popsicle. He has a Sisu and a Half Shark Maui in his hand here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he would need to ink the Half Shark Maui there in order to play the big Sisu there. Okay, he's using the Popsicle, quest with the Tamatoa, bring back the Popsicle, inks the Popsicle, plays down the big Sisu to banish all characters besides the Merlin Goat here. And I think the last card in his hand is I think the Half Shark Maui, right? If I'm not mistaken. So back to David here. And now, what is he doing? So he will gain 1 lore of the library effect, for sure. He has a Madame Rush Fox there available. And also a Elsa, it looks like. So maybe you play down, how many ink does he have? I think 1, 2, 3, 7, should be 7. So maybe you ink something. Okay, he's playing it a little differently. Okay, attacking here into the Tamatoa. Another option would be to play down the Elsa, right? Resting the Sisu. Then you play the Madame Fox, bounce back the Elsa or the Goat, right? And then attack into the Sisu to take this one off the field. But he deciding to go a different route here. And there we see Elsa being inked. And together, like the Merlin Goat and the Madame Fox both taking down Tamatoa. And now back to Jonathan here, which starts off with a Flavor Sham, banishing a Popsicle to draw 2 more cards there. And now he's playing the Half Shark Maui by also inking the Vision to the Future there. And now we see probably some damage, no? I think he's just questing here for 3. And now we see a pass back to David here, which starts off with the Merlin Goat here, drawing himself another card. And then we see the Madame Fox here, taking down the exerted Sisu from Jonathan's side. And now back to Jonathan. What options does he have available? He has a Maleficent Dragon and another Half Shark Maui here. So it looks like we are seeing a Ice Block onto the Merlin Rabbit. Is then using the Flavor Sham to banish the Ice Block to draw 2 more cards. Maybe we see the Maleficent Dragon taking off the Rabbit and then the Maui taking down the library. So this way he would remove all options there. Okay, no, it looks like he's playing down the Half Shark Maui. Yeah, I don't mind that. So here we see another Half Shark Maui getting played. He's then brawling the Rabbit, gaining 2 lower, and then the Maui is also putting... Oh no, it's not taking out, right? I think the library has 8 willpower. So yeah, Maui just putting 7 there. So the library is really, great defensive option tool, right, to have. So now back to David here on the other side, which is inking another library, plays down the Calhoun there, and also plays down another Merlin Rabbit and another Genie, and just gained 1 lore of the library there, passing it back to Jonathan. So now let's see. So he's starting off with the Maleficent Dragon, taking off the Genie from the board here. Now he's taking out the library here with the Maui. He's then questing with his other Maui there. And then pass back to David here. So now both players are sitting at 13 lore each, right? So it's a really close game back to back. And David is starting off here with a quest with the Merlin Rabbit, going all the way up to 14. He's playing down the Madame Fox here. Bounce back the Merlin Rabbit to draw another card. I think he found another. And then along came Zeus. So there's the option to use one of these Mauis or also the Maleficent Dragon, right? Looks like he's playing the Zeus onto one of these Half Shark Mauis. And then we see another Magic Broom and a Merlin Crab here hitting the field of David's side, and now back to Jonathan. So I think he found there's a 2-cost card found. I can't quite see. He has a Half Shark Maui. He has also another Mektak Mana and also another 2-cost card available. Can't quite see what card it is. I think he has no removal options available to him, right? So he's playing down... Oh, it was the Hideaway. Okay. I think you... Yeah, so now we see a Half Shark Maui here hitting the field. And I think he also plays down the Mektak Mana. Yeah. And then we just see a quest here with the Maui. Also equalizing the lore score at 14 here for both players. So I think this one will be a pretty interesting game to watch, right? I think both players played this pretty well. Don't want to risk anything by excelling the characters. Now we see David questing with the Magic Broom, putting him to 15 lore. He's playing down the Merlin Rabbit, drawing 1 card for the on-play effect for the Merlin Rabbit, banishing the Magic Broom, drawing him another card, finding him another Journal Box follower. He has 2 Madame Mim Snake, no, 1 Madame Mim Snake, a Calhoun, and also Mr. Smee available. So now that's definitely a tough decision here, right? Maybe you just quest here with all you have, with the Madame Fox, the Calhoun, and the Crab, and then you just play down Mr. Smee and another Journal Box follower, and just go really wide. I mean, what you could also do is you quest with the Madame Fox, you bounce this with the Madame Snake, then you quest with the Calhoun, and bounce back the Calhoun with your Madame Fox, right? So this way you don't have any exert characters in play. You advance your lore score by 2, and also well, let's see. Okay, now we see the Madame Fox here putting 4 damage onto the Macduck Manor. And yeah, I think David has to take out the Macduck Manor here, for sure, right? Because otherwise Jonathan can just quest outright. It's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 lore on the board, so he has to take down the Macduck Manor for sure here. I'm not quite sure. I think David messed it up a little bit, right? I think he should have maybe quested with the Merlin Crab there, or attacked into it, right? And then, yeah, maybe take down or take up the crab to gain the Challenger +3 there. But, I mean, it's definitely a tough situation here, so understandable that he is not... you also don't want to make any mistakes. Okay, so now we see the, yeah, quest with the Merlin Rabbit, Madame Snake bouncing back the crab, buffing the Madame Fox here by Challenger +3, and now taking down the Macduck Manor. And then he's playing down the Mr. Smee and Jonathan's follower. And now back to Jonathan. So he has 5 lore here on board, and I think, yeah, that's it. Because he just attacks with the Half-Shark Maui there into the Merlin, in the Madame Fox, takes back the Pirate's Life, right? And then he's able to play it, gaining 2 lore, and then just quest out of the remaining cards. So Jonathan is winning this round number 2 here, in a pretty dominant fashion, I would say. 2-0, so already up 40 match points. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if not already done, please leave a like or a comment, or also subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you on the next video on my channel here.